I believe that you should turn on automatic updates on your clients or workstations. If your car manufacturer told you that there was a safety recall about your brake system, you wouldn't hesitate to take it to a dealer and have that issue addressed. So why would you hesitate when the publisher or maker of your operating system says they're issuing an update to fix something or to improve something to keep you safe and secure online as you're using your operating system? Now, the situation is a little more complicated when you're dealing with servers and servers running 24/7 especially. But on the client side, with the workstation, I believe you have much less risk by using automatic updates to apply updates as they're issued by the manufacturer than you do running a system that has not been updated or is unpatched. Let's take a look. Within Windows, you can go into the control panel, then into System and Security, and then into Windows Update. Now, some of these settings can be managed centrally. If you're a member of a work network or a domain, you may not have the ability to change these options. But if this is not a green check mark, you want to make sure that you know why. So we'll go in here to change settings, and you'll see that the defaults right now are to install updates automatically every night, to give recommended updates the same way we get important updates, and that all users can install updates. In other words, you don't have to be an administrator. We've also set to use Microsoft updates to get updates for more than just the core operating system. This checkbox is first turned off by default. It gives me a warning because I've already turned it on. Normally, this has to be turned on after you've installed the operating system. This checkbox controls whether you automatically get updates for products like Office. Since most of us have Microsoft products on our computer that are not the operating system, I recommend that you opt in to Microsoft updates as well as Windows updates. Now, on some of my systems, I have this set to download and let me choose when to install them. If I'm working on a system where it's more important to me that the system not interrupt me and that I choose the schedule, this is the lowest setting that I personally recommend on a client. For the vast majority of users and for all non-technical users, I just leave this set to automatically install. And sometime in the middle of the night or as soon as possible after that, the updates will just be provided for them. The only reason to control when they're actually installed is that some updates do require a restart of the computer, which is a minor annoyance to some users. But it's a necessary annoyance. It's a necessary interruption. Just like taking your car in to get that addressed at the dealer would be an interruption as well. Microsoft has worked very hard to make updates require the minimum amount of restarting necessary, but it does still occasionally happen. Microsoft is not the only vendor that issues automatic updates. In fact, far from it. Here we have an icon in our tray about Adobe having an update already ready for Acrobat. So Apple does the same thing. Google does the same thing. There are many different major publishers that have an automatic update policy or an automatic update platform. Now, it's usually a good idea to read the details, find out exactly what the update is about, and particularly with lesser known publishers or updates that you haven't automatically requested and you can't be sure, you don't want to install spyware or malware or viruses that pretend to be updates. So that's why I like the major publishers that have a secure automatic updating function. Don't just open an email that's labeled Adobe Update and click on it. That's not how they deliver updates securely. But Adobe and Apple and Google and many other publishers have automatic update systems built in to their software. And they do it fairly securely, including signed packages and known sites. So go ahead and install the updates. Again, I have to be an administrator to do that. So go ahead and install the updates for your major pieces of software when your publisher issues them. That's one of the ways to keep your system up to date and resilient to the most common and newest threats.